The story of African nationalism is not a single narrative, but a mosaic of struggles, each shaped by unique local conditions, colonial systems, and personalities. From the Gold Coast's elite constitutional petitions to Algeria's brutal guerrilla war, and from Kenya's forest fighters to South Africa's mass defiance, these movements shared a common goal: the destruction of colonial rule and the restoration of African dignity. They evolved over time, learning from one another, borrowing tactics, and increasingly cooperating across borders. By the time the winds of change swept the continent in the late 1950s and early 1960s, a powerful and irreversible momentum had been built. Classical building West Africa, the forge of constitutional nationalism. West Africa, particularly the British colonies, was where modern nationalist politics first took organized form. Here, a growing class of educated Africans, often lawyers, doctors, and journalists, used the tools of the colonial system itself, petitions, newspapers, and legislative councils, to demand a greater share of power. The early organizations, the Aborigines Rights Protection Society, ARPS, in the Gold Coast, Ghana, in 1897 fought against land dispossession, establishing a template for organized protest. This was followed by the National Congress of British West Africa, NCBWA, in 1920, which united elites from across Britain's 4 West African colonies to demand African representation in government and an end to racial discrimination. The Student Vanguard, the West African Students' Union, WASU, founded in London in 1925, became a crucial radicalizing force. It brought together future leaders like Kwame Nkrumah and Jomo Kenyatta, creating a Pan-African network that would later spearhead independence movements. The breakthrough in Ghana, the Gold Coast became the first sub-Saharan African colony to gain independence in 1957, largely due to Kwame Nkrumah's Convention People's Party, CPP. Unlike the earlier elite groups, the CPP was a mass movement. It organized boycotts, strikes, and positive action campaigns that mobilized ordinary workers and farmers, forcing the British to grant independence. Dagger East Africa, the crucible of armed struggle. The nationalist path in East Africa was far more violent, shaped by the presence of a large and land-hungry white settler community that was determined to resist majority rule. Kenya's land war, the Mau Mau Uprising, 1952–1960, was the most dramatic expression of this conflict. Rooted in the Kikuyu community's deep grievances over land seizures and forced labor, the movement used guerrilla warfare in the forests to fight the British Army. The British response was brutal: concentration camps, mass executions, and the detention of over 150,000 Kikuyu, but the uprising broke the back of settler confidence. From rebellion to independence, while Mau Mau was crushed militarily, it paved the way for constitutional politics. The British released Jomo Kenyatta, whom they had imprisoned as an alleged Mau Mau leader, and his Kenya African National Union, KANU, won the 1963 elections, leading Kenya to independence under a stable, moderate government. Tanzania's peaceful path, in contrast, Tanganyika, mainland Tanzania, achieved independence peacefully in 1961. Julius Nyerere's Tanganyika African National Union, TANU, founded in 1954, built a broad, non-ethnic coalition. Nyerere's strategy of patient negotiation and mass education, rather than armed confrontation, delivered a smooth transition to self-rule. Fire North Africa, the long and brutal road. North African nationalism was unique in its confrontation with French and Italian settler colonialism, which had deeper roots and was even more entrenched than in East Africa. Egypt's early triumph, the 1919 Egyptian Revolution, a nationwide uprising against British rule, was a landmark event. While it did not achieve immediate independence, It forced Britain to unilaterally declare Egyptian independence in 1922, making Egypt one of the first African countries to break free from formal colonial control. The Algerian Inferno, the Algerian War of Independence, 1954–1962, was the most ferocious of all. The National Liberation Front, FLN, launched a guerrilla war against 1 million French settlers who considered Algeria an integral part of France. The war featured brutal tactics on both sides, torture, terrorism, and mass displacement, but the FLN's relentless struggle forced France to grant Algeria independence in 1962. Algeria's victory became a beacon of hope for anti-colonial movements worldwide, and it subsequently offered sanctuary and training to other liberation groups across Africa. Shield Southern Africa, the last stronghold. Southern Africa was the final battleground of colonialism, where white minority regimes in South Africa, Rhodesia, Zimbabwe, and the Portuguese colonies of Angola and Mozambique fought bitter rearguard actions against African nationalism. The South African giant, the African National Congress, ANC, was founded in 1912 and led peaceful protests for decades. However, after the Sharpeville Massacre, 1960, when police killed 69 unarmed protesters, the ANC abandoned non-violence and formed its armed wing, Umkhonto we Sizwe, Spear of the Nation, led by Nelson Mandela. A breakaway faction, the Pan-Africanist Congress, PAC, under Robert Sobukwe, advocated a more radical, explicitly Africanist ideology. The Rhodesian Bush War, the white minority regime of Ian Smith unilaterally declared independence from Britain in 1965. This triggered a prolonged guerrilla war by Joshua Nkomo's Zimbabwe African People's Union, ZAPU, and Robert Mugabe's Zimbabwe African National Union, ZANU, which eventually forced a settlement and black majority rule in 1980. The Portuguese collapse, Portugal's refusal to decolonize sparked wars in Angola and Mozambique, 1961–1974. In Angola, three rival movements, the MPLA, led by Agostinho Neto, UNITA, and the FNLA, fought the Portuguese and each other, a conflict that became a major Cold War proxy war. Globe Central Africa. Profits and parties. Nationalism in French-ruled Central Africa was marked by a mix of rural revolts and the rise of charismatic political leaders. The Congo Wara Revolt, the Congo Wara, War of the Hoe Handle, Rebellion, 1928–1931, was a massive, rural uprising against forced labor and rubber extraction in French Cameroon and Equatorial Africa. Led by a spiritual figure named Kanu, it involved tens of thousands of warriors and was a fierce expression of primary resistance before the era of modern parties. Messon and Boganda, in Ubangi Shari, Central African Republic, Barthélemy Boganda founded the Movement for the Social Evolution of Black Africa, MESAN, in 1949. It was a rare nationalist party that explicitly sought to affirm black humanity and break down tribalism while agitating for independence. If you would like to explore any of these movements in greater detail, focusing, for example, on the role of women, the impact of the Cold War, or the post-independence challenges, please let me know in the comment below. Don't forget to like and share the video and subscribe to our channel.